What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a very quick and very excellent duel for you guys to check out. This is a nice surprise. We don't generally see Tenyi on this channel because people just don't send me a lot of Tenyi duels, but this is going to be one of them. We all know Tenyi is going to be getting another Link monster. They're getting a Link 4. It's situationally a very effective card. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it can actually be quite useful. And he's going to be dueling against what I can only best describe as Jaden deck. I mean, the opening hand doesn't look very Jaden focused. In fact, you probably consider a Keeper of Dark Magic more like a Yugi card, but believe me, all these plays are going to be Jaden oriented. So let's go ahead and roll this and we'll see where we end up. Master Rule 5 is now in place, and I believe he's going to start with the Predaplant engine. And that usually would get Super Poly, or excuse me, it would usually get Brilliant Fusion, but it's a Jaden deck, so he's going to get Super Poly. He's going to go for the Predaplant Link monster, natural transition there, and he is going to go for the Elemental Hero Neos Kluger. So again, just keeping everything kind of similar to what Jaden would probably do, and he's going to pass turn. Tenyi are up first. Doesn't want to just start out with the mind control, interesting enough, and especially considering he knows his opponent does have Super Poly. We'll see how he tries to navigate. He's going to go for Baxia and try to spin some cards, but his opponent will respond with that searched out Super Polymerization, and he's going to make that Mud Dragon using the Baxia. No problem, Tenyi says, I can keep on playing, bro. I still got plays, especially considering he has the World Legacy Succession. He will go for the Tenyi Link 2. Every time I see this card used, it's almost exclusively in conjunction with Meremere, so that's pretty much like expected. And that allows you to get a whole lot of tokens. We know this because of, you know, like the Yazi plays and whatnot. He's going to trade all of those in for the big Tenyi Link 4, and he's going to get a couple of attacks. But before he declares that second attack, he will activate this guy's effect, and that gives him a token equivalent to the attack of one of his opponent's monsters. So it has 500 attack because his opponent's Predaplant Anaconda had 500 attack. So that's kind of cool. We'll see what he's going to do. I would have liked to see him set the Call by the Grave. That's just me. His opponent's going to normal summon that Keeper of Dragon Magic, and he is going to activate the effect, get an 1800 attack token. He's actually going to go ahead and he's going to set Yubel from the graveyard. Now I was like, okay, this is definitely feeling like it's kind of getting Jaden territory. He will activate Neos Fusion and goes for, man, this is still like one of my top 5 fusion monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! As far as just my favorite cards. And yes, I do own not only a Ghost Rare, but a Secret Rare copy, both from Phantom Darkness of Rainbow Neos. He will summon the Big Daddy Rainbow Neos, and he's going to clear the courtroom. He's going to give up his Yubel and get rid of all of his opponent's monsters. I love Rainbow Neos so much, man. So much attack. All the effects are good. The only problem for ages was that the card was basically impossible to summon, but obviously Neos Fusion kind of changed all that. His opponent does have some options, including the mind control. He's going to go for the succession. He will go into, I believe the Tenyi Link 2 is coming, and once again, he'll probably use something like Meremere to get all of those tokens, and this is where the cheese is going to come into play. He's going to go for the Tenyi Link 4 once again, and man, you do not want to have powerful monsters on the field if your opponent has this guy during either turn, because it is a quick effect. Because your opponent can do this, he can activate the effect and get a 4500 attack token. He's got to be feeling bad. You can't disrespect Rainbow Neos like this by making this cheap clone of Rainbow Neos. Anyways, he's going to activate the Dark Tenyi, say bye-bye to Rainbow Neos as you're going to hit the extra deck, then activates Mind Control just so he has an open field to swing into. Honestly, it didn't even matter. I don't think the Mind Control would have even needed to be played, because even if he just went straight battle phase, yeah, he had enough damage to just win the game anyways. But, you know, the Tenyi Link 4, it can be situationally good. It's really good if your opponent has big monsters on field, because essentially you can just copy their monsters, get a giant token, and if you can get over those monsters or just remove them off the field, as he did in this duel, not even have to not even having to attack over it, then obviously your token can just put in that work, and sometimes you can even OTK. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the short duel. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos. And here's a quick look at what the Tenyi deck looks like on paper, and you know, a suggestion came in one of my videos to start putting the deck as a downloadable in the description, so I'll do that as well for those of you who can't make out some of these cards, but I figured there'd be that one guy who's like, Cap G, what does the deck look like? So here it is. I mean, a lot of the main deck is pretty standard. You know, you're running a bunch of 10E monsters. Interesting to see Phantom Sky Blaster used in the build. Haven't seen this card all that much. We knew that this was very powerful in like Thunder Dragons and whatnot. I can't 100% like say if this is a go first or second deck because of the 3 copies of Mind Control. Usually that means like you're going second, but I don't know. I mean, he did go first in the duel, so I'm not 100% certain. Plus the 10E field spell, which he's running 2 copies of, this is like really a go first card because you want to have this on field, let your opponent special summon and then draw 2 cards. Obviously you're looking to draw like hand traps, so you know it's kind of interesting. Like maybe he just kind of made it to be able to go first or second. Skill Drain in the main deck, which I think is good with 10E. Skill Drain is good because the 10E monsters for the most part all activate in the graveyard, so they're just kind of unaffected by Skill Drain. Plus you're playing normal or non-effect monsters out of the extra deck anyway. So yep, very, very interesting build of 10E. Interesting to see, or good to see, that you can also use the Yang Zing monsters, and you can just abuse Mare without actually having to use Yazi.